My name is Stanley, and as myself and my research partner Josephine are in different parts of the UK at the moment, I'm going to present to you our summer UROS project. Now, our project was based on human-swan interactions and their effects on swan behaviours. Human-swan interactions can be defined as any relationship or interaction that occurs between a swan and a human. Our project focused on feeding behaviour, as naturally swans tend to feed on pondweed and algae, yet humans tend to feed swans bread and grains. We had two main research questions that we focused on. The first was, do human-swan interactions affect natural swan feeding behaviour? This was investigated by observing natural swan feeding behaviour and recording how this changes when human-swan interactions occur. Our second question was, is there a difference between the frequency of swan feeding in males and females? This was observed and recorded by demographic information, which included gender. Methodology. 7 transects along Lincolnshire waterways were developed using knowledge from previous swan sightings. Examples include Fen Lane, North Hykeham and Bolton Mere, which are shown on the right-hand side along with the other transects. An app called EpiCollect 5 was used to record our location at the beginning of each transect. Researchers walked along the transect looking out for swans. Once a swan was found, information was logged into the app, including coordinates of location, number of cygnets, whether they were sat on a nest or in a waterway, and the swan ID tag number, which was found on their leg. A camera on a tripod was set up and a recording of the swan was made for 30 minutes. We focused on one target swan throughout. 2 spreadsheets were filled out by the other researcher during the 30 minutes. One of these included a human-swan interaction sheet, and the other was a scan data sheet which recorded swan behaviour every 5 minutes. This process was repeated until the whole transect was completed. At this point, we recorded in the app again our location. Findings. Swans that reside in waterways close to the city centre and public parks experience the greatest frequency of human-swan interaction. This can be shown in the graph to the right. Most common events that occurred within the human-swan interaction were watching from viewing points at public parks and feeding. In the absence of humans, swans most commonly fed on natural foods including pondweed and algae. During human-swan interactions, swans most commonly fed on bread. The swans that encountered the most such human-swan interactions fed on the most supplementary food. The percentage of swan feeding for each observed swan can be seen in the graph on the right. Females interacted and fed swans more frequently than males over the course of the 6 weeks of the fieldwork. Males interacted with swans 41.8% of the time, and females interacted with swans 58.2% of the time. Again, a graph on the right shows this. Our conclusions. Human-swan interactions are one main cause of swans feeding on unnatural, non-nutritional food. Education could aid in the reduction of unhealthy swan feeding. This could be done by having signs in local parks and city centres with information on safe distances and signs showing indicators that a swan is distressed. Challenges and learning experiences. Challenges. Myself and Josephine both fell ill with COVID-19, which disrupted our fieldwork schedule. However, we were supported by other student researchers undertaking a similar report. Weather conditions. We were always cautious not to damage any of the equipment, especially while filming in the rain. Sightings. On occasion, we struggled to locate any swans at all. However, this is often the nature of fieldwork. Learning experiences. Data handling skills. The main one here is navigating Excel. This will be beneficial as we take on our 3rd year dissertation. Organisational skills, which will be transferable again to our final year of studies. Finally, I'd like to thank you for listening to our presentation and to credit our supervisor Letitia for supporting us throughout our project.